This is the morning of the 3rd of August 2024. If you're in Florida, especially if you're on the west coast of Florida, you better get yourself ready because you're going to have some severe weather coming your way. Clip on CNN Weather, written by Nora Sarlici and Mary Gilbert, published on the 3rd. State of emergency declared in several Florida counties ahead of storms. Let's listen to this 2-minute and 27-second clip.
So we don't have Tropical Storm Debby yet. It's expected to become that today. It's Tropical Depression 4 still. But in anticipation of that happening, they've started to issue a lot of those warnings and watches out ahead to give people as much time as they possibly can to prepare, because people don't think, I don't need to prepare for a tropical depression, but they do if they think it's going to be a tropical storm or even a hurricane. So yes, we have brand new, just issued within the last hour, some of those new hurricane watches. But here's where the storm is located. You can see just on the southern side there of Cuba, still Tropical Depression 4, those sustained winds at 30 miles per hour. It needs to get up to 40 miles per hour before we start to see that transition over to tropical storm strength. Here's a look at all of the watches and warnings. This pink color right here that does include Cedar Key and much of the Big Bend of Florida, that's where we have that hurricane watch. Now, you've still got a tropical storm warning along much of the west coast, so that includes Tampa, St. Pete, down through Naples, and pretty much all the way down to that southwestern point. You still have some tropical storm watches in effect for the Keys, and I know that may not sound kind of like it should make sense because it would clearly hit this area first, but that's because we just simply don't know if it will make it to tropical storm strength before it continues to pass over that area. Because here's a look at the track. It's going to be awfully close as it crosses over the Keys, whether or not it's still going to be a tropical depression or a tropical storm. But it is expected to become a tropical storm, especially once it gets out over those nice warm open waters. The thing here is right before landfall, it gets up to about 70 miles per hour. Remember, 75 is a hurricane, so it's going to be awfully close. And the key thing here too is even when it continues on, notice how it really slows down. So flooding is going to be the biggest component with this particular storm. Now, we talked about it getting awfully close to hurricane strength. A lot of that is going to have to do with the water temperature. And look at how warm it is in this particular area. You're talking those low 90s right in there. That is fuel for these storms. That's why the National Hurricane Center is saying it's not out of the question that this could become a low-end Category 1 hurricane before it finally makes landfall in Florida. You've also got storm surge that's a factor. So flooding from two different ways. You've got flooding from all the rain that's going to come down and all of that water that's going to be pushed back in. So 2 to 4 feet pretty much up and down most of the west coast of Florida. Look at some of this widespread rainfall of 6 to 10 inches. But guys, there will be some spots that could pick up well over a foot of rain before this system finally exits well out into the Atlantic. Wow.
That's scary, folks.
When Mario needs to be at his best.
Parts of Florida are now under hurricane watch as the chance Tropical Storm Debby could be hurricane when it makes landfall in the state increases. The storm, which is now a Tropical Depression 4, is also forecast to slow down significantly after making landfall and wring out multiple days of rain in the southeast, increasing the chances of significant flooding there. The hurricane watch was issued for parts of Florida Big Bend region, where the National Hurricane Center forecasts a landfall of a strong tropical storm on Monday morning. The area is still recovering from devastating blow by Category 3 hurricane Idalia last August. I wonder if you're going to be able to get homeowners insurance anywhere in that part of the country soon. Other alerts warning of tropical storm conditions over the next 48 hours span the entire western Florida coast south of the Big Bend and include Tampa, Sarasota, Fort Myers, and Naples. A couple of my subscribers that used to be subscribers on the Report before the system went down, they live in Naples. Tropical Depression 4 currently has a maximum sustained winds of 30 miles an hour and is about 170 miles southeast of Key West, just off the coast of Cuba, according to the National Hurricane Center, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time update. The storm is expected to enter the eastern Gulf of Mexico on Saturday and officially become Tropical Storm Debby, according to the Hurricane Center. Can you believe the water's at 90 degrees? I mean, that's like hot tub weather or temperature. Tropical storm conditions could begin Saturday night in parts of southwest Florida, and rain will start impacting parts of South Florida. Very intensive rainfall is expected to the southwest Florida Saturday, and a widespread 3 to 5 inches of rain could fall, according to the Weather Prediction Center. The intense rain will be potent enough to cause flash flooding, even in marshy areas of the state more capable of handling excess water. The storm is expected to continue to strengthen through the weekend up to landfall while tracking through the Gulf of Mexico, parallel to the western coast of Florida. Like I said, folks, you better get yourself ready because it's going to get nasty. I think the Carolinas are going to get nailed as well with a lot of rain. I'll attach the link, pass it along, and thanks for listening.